Wednesday, March 19th. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning.
Oh, wow. Here we are in the middle of the week already, and there's so many things going on. Tell us about what's happening tonight.
Tonight is so exciting.
Exciting.
Every Wednesday night is the night that we watch Majesty York of Goldsboro, North Carolina on American Idol perform.
Wow.
Yes, so tonight is the night that we need your help. We need to have you and you and you and you vote for Majesty. Wednesday night is the voting night.
And you can vote how many times?
You can vote 50 times per device.
Wow.
And that means like on your regular computer, you can vote on your laptop, you can vote on your iPad, your phone, you can text, you can call. If you need details on how all you can vote, you can go to majestymania.com and it will specifically give you all the details of what numbers to call, what number to text, how you can contact Google. Oh, there's all kinds of things you can do.
50
but that's
times
Wednesday night.
Each
Device.
Wow.
That's a lot of votes per person.
It sure is.
So we need Goldsboro to stand up and support our local contestant on the American Idol Showcase. Tonight you can see her perform and then vote all during the show. And then on Thursday night, that's the results night.
Yeah.
We'll have a party at the Y tomorrow night, and tonight we'll have a party at Wayne Community College.
Oh boy.
So join us. And if you can't come out, at least watch the show. It's on Channel 4 if you have Time Warner Cable. And tonight, I believe it comes on at 8 o'clock, and tomorrow night it comes on at 8:30.
Okay.
And you can vote, vote, vote all tonight.
50 times on each device.
Yeah, that's a lot of voting
Wow,
per
that is a lot
person.
of voting, but she is so talented. And she's got a pretty good shot at this.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
You
we
just
keep
want to
hoping.
continue to support her.
That's right. Well, today, the 19th of the month of March. Tomorrow, spring arrives tomorrow, and
Yay.
Saturday will be another day. Saturday, the first full day of spring.
That's right.
But let's see now. Today is, oh boy,
What is
today
today?
is National Chocolate Caramel Day.
Oh, love it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And now, is it caramel or caramel?
I think you can say it both ways. Let's just say it both ways.
Oh, okay.
I say caramel,
Yeah,
but a lot of people say caramel.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah.
And
See,
they're both accepted.
They are both accepted.
Exactly.
Kind of like potato and
Potato, tomato, tomato.
Oh,
Potato, potato, tomato, tomato.
if you insist.
Yes.
It is the Swallows returning to Capistrano Day. San Juan Capistrano is when the Swallows return today, and today is Wednesday. Oh boy.
Yes, it is, all day long.
All day long.
Middle of the
I'm
week.
telling you. Look, a crime prevention program gets underway today at 10:30 this morning. Steve Grinstead from the Coalition for Crime Prevention will be at the Senior Center today to help teach seniors about how to avoid being victims of crime.
That's fantastic.
It is. You know, I hear these stories all the time. The people say, you know, I was smarter than that. I don't know how I got roped into this. I knew better. I hear stories. Pay attention to what's going on around you. This guy will be at the Senior Center this morning at 10:30, and you're invited to attend. It's absolutely free of charge.
Wonderful.
It's a fast-paced, active program based on information from police departments, sheriff's offices, federal and state inmates, and others. Participants encouraged to bring your pocketbook with you, bring your briefcases, and your backpacks if you have them. That you usually carry, as you, there will be a demonstration on how to carry these in a safe manner. Again, if you have any questions, call Aaron, 705-1785.
That's at the Senior Center.
At the Senior Center, East Ash Street, Goldsboro.
Well, also at the Senior Center on Friday, March the 21st, from 4 until 6 p.m., senior movies. Yeah, they'll be showing movies. They do that quite often.
Oh, boy.
They'll be shown at the center. This week, it's actually Meet the Browns. That is a funny movie.
Meet the Browns.
That's
That is
right.
fun.
They'll be there, and they'll have all kinds of goodies and surprises for you as well. But that's at 4 o'clock this Friday, Meet the Browns, all senior citizens.
Outstanding. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh boy, also on Friday, riding on the success of the first Wayne County Jazz Showcase back in February,
Oh, yeah.
the Arts Council of Wayne County proud to announce the March Showcase, hosted by Eric Javier Xavier. Some people say
It goes
Javier.
just
some
like
say
tomato,
Xavier.
tomato.
Okay. The next performance will take place Friday at 7 p.m. with special guest Brian Miller on saxophone.
Nice.
Very nice. This will be at the Arts Council, 102 North John Street, corner of John and Walnut Street, downtown Goldsboro. Click, click.
That's right. We got that right.
There you go. Okay, it's among Brian Miller's many musical accomplishments. He's a Kinston native. He's played internationally.
Oh, wow.
He's played internationally. I didn't know that.
Nice.
He's played in Vienna and the Montreux Jazz Festival. He's also played with a number of jazz greats across the U.S. He'll be playing with talented Wayne County drummer Jasmine Best. All right.
All right,
Woo.
that's great.
And paradiddles to you, dude. Anyway, showcase producer Eric Javier Xavier.
Wonderful. Always have, the Arts Council is full of things happening, and they're always unique and different.
They are.
We talk about their exhibits, and they have open mic nights on Friday nights, and they have so many things. If you want to find out more about all the activities and events the Arts Council has to offer you as a community, visit artsinwayne.com, and you can see their schedule of events, because they have, honestly, things every week.
An unbelievable amount of money was stolen on this day in 1831.
Oh my.
Are you ready? I could not believe this. The first bank robbery in America. The first bank robbery reported this day, 1831. The City Bank of New York City lost $245,000.
And that was the largest at that point in time?
At that point in time, it was an amazing amount. 1831, you can imagine what that money would be worth nowadays.
Right, exactly.
Way over $1 million. 1831. Anyway. Also, the first American museum, rather the American Museum of Atomic Energy, opened in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, this day in 1949. The Caine Mutiny, one of my favorite books and movies. Of course, I'm a Bogart fan anyway.
Me too.
But are you really?
Yes, I love Humphrey Bogart.
I love me some Humphrey Bogart. Anyway, 1951. Sweetheart, it was 1951. The Caine Mutiny was published for the first time. Wook won a Pulitzer for the novel. Followed it with several more successes, including Marjorie Morningstar, Winds of War, War and Remembrance, and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, Herman Wouk published The Caine Mutiny this day, 1951.
I like him best acting with Audrey Hepburn, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Some of my favorites.
Yes. Outstanding.
All right, I believe it's that time.
It is that time.
Have you heard of the Friends of Seymour? Well, joining me today is Ben Seegars. He's the chairman of the Military Affairs Committee, and he's here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show, Ben. So
Thanks,
glad
Kim.
to have you.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So you have many jobs. You wear many hats. Of course, we all know you're from Seegars Fence, but you're also the chairman of the Military Affairs Committee, and now you're also a leader in the Friends of Seymour.
I am.
So tell us, if you will, what is Friends of Seymour and how was it formed?
Well, Friends of Seymour is a cooperative effort between the city and the county, the Military Affairs Committee, and really the general public of Goldsboro and Wayne County. And we have come together in the last few months just realizing that we've got to have an organized approach to just make sure our future is secure. We've got some great elected officials at all levels of our government, but sometimes the details about what might be best for Seymour Johnson is not communicated clearly, or is maybe misunderstood, and this organization is really coming together to ensure that that is passed along in the right way, and to just hopefully not only ensure our future, but ensure that it thrives.
Well, Ben, talking about our future and how important Seymour Johnson is to our community, do you see this group being a long-term committee that is looking out for Goldsboro and Seymour Johnson, or is this a short-term group?
I do. I believe it's going to be a long-term group and effort. And you know, what highlighted all this was last year when we got the threat for some wind energy development down in the path of the Dare County range, and it really caught everyone off guard. And it really shined the light on the fact that we need to get our own team of folks looking out for us at all levels. Right. So, so with that being said, we don't know what's the threats coming down the pipe,
but there always will be one.
We believe that to be the truth, and we've all seen politics at their ugliest, I believe, over the last 6 or 8 years. And so this is sort of our little insurance policy, just to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make sure Seymour stays here and thrives.
Absolutely. In your opinion, what do you think and what do you see as the positives and the importance of Seymour Johnson being in our community long term?
Sure. Well, obviously there are a lot of positives. The big one is the economics of the deal. They provide a lot of jobs. All those folks live and work in our county, so it has impacts at all level of all our businesses. But you know, one thing that's normally where the light always shines, and one part that is so overlooked, I think, all the time is just all the volunteerism and all these people from really all over the world who are stationed here that have such a huge impact on the community through all the volunteerism. They're the Cub Scout den leader. They're the soccer coach. They're a prime example is they help park all the cars at Sheriff Winder's funeral the other day, so all the sheriff's deputies could be in attendance. And
right.
And really, whenever they are called on, those airmen and all the folks out there normally rise to the occasion, and that's who we are in Wayne County. So we need to certainly, we believe in embracing it 100% and making sure that continues as long as forever, hopefully.
Exactly. You know, we interview a lot of the airmen and a lot of representatives from Seymour Johnson on a regular basis. And as we're interviewing them, one of the questions that we have a tendency to ask is, what brings you to Goldsboro? What is special to you about Goldsboro? And how do you feel about it? And over, Ben, we hear the same thing. We hear the collaboration and the welcoming of this community to us as airmen is undeniable. It is unique to Goldsboro. It is not this way necessarily across the United States,
right.
And we're very proud of that.
Right.
And that, as you said, that is something that is extremely important to continue year after year after year, these efforts and this community support that is given to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
Absolutely.
So moving forward, what is the event that is going to be happening in the next few weeks that is to get fundraising efforts moving forward so this group can continue?
Sure. Well, as we speak, there's a great group of volunteers out going around and knocking on doors of local businesses and individuals, selling tickets for this event and selling sponsorships and just gaining support. And it's going to be the Friends of Seymour first annual gala. And by even the name Friends of Seymour, we wanted to open that up not just local in this community, but there are tons of folks who have either served at Seymour in the past or have lived and worked in Goldsboro and are outside of that now that we would like to set this up so they can show their support either monetarily or both by coming to the event. Now, and the event is sort of the highlight or the cherry on the top, so to speak, of the effort. And the effort's been done in the past without the event for previous challenges where money was needed to be raised privately. And we thought it was important to do this to engage the whole community and have transparency. And it's going to be an opportunity where the firms that we've hired to help us on Capitol Hill and in Raleigh are going to be on hand, and you'll get some words probably from the MAC and from maybe some other local folks. And that's, I mean, I can't, going back to something you said a few minutes ago, and that's something that I believe just does not exist in many communities. What makes those comments that you hear from those folks valid is the fact that when it comes to Seymour Johnson, there is no blue, there is no red, there's no city, there's no county.
That's exactly right. We are a community.
I can absolutely say that I'm thrilled with both all the officials in the city and the county and the private folks are all in sync and on this issue, and we all come together for the most part. We're going to do whatever it takes. So
to protect our Air Force Base.
That's really cool, and obviously that relationship shows, and the folks at Seymour feel it. So that's a great thing.
Over and over and over as they continue to come and talk with us about their job on base. That's one of the questions that we ask on a weekly basis is, what is different about Goldsboro? What makes it special to you? And we do hear that quite a bit, and we're continually excited to hear that every single week.
Right. Well, jumping back to the gala, which is what we were talking about, and I jumped off the subject. The event's going to be start about 6 o'clock, and we're going to have a nice hour and a half social hour with some a great offering of silent auction items consisting of things from jewelry to trips to sporting events, even.
Can you give us a teaser if you got any big things in there you can sort of whisper about?
There are lots of hockey tickets. There's some signed basketballs by some favorite teams and coaches.
I wonder who that might be.
Right. So and there's some nice hunting trips. There's some flight. Some one of our supporters has his own plane and a pilot, and he's going to do like a tour of the East Coast or of the Outer Banks rather, and. So we tried to go to get some very unique items. We're going to a lot of area restaurants, and we're going to pack together some dining out packages consisting of lots of different gift certificates to different area restaurants. So
And that's a great way to showcase our restaurants as well.
Exactly. So
Y'all are being very creative.
we're trying to think outside the box
Right.
here, and ultimately another thing that's be very unique to this event will be we've brought in 501 Auctions, which you might see on our website.
Right.
They are the company that's helping us with the sort of the back office of the event. They are hosting the website for us, and you can go online and buy tickets online. We do not have any paper tickets, so you
Really?
can.
So all this is going to be done on your smartphone?
That's correct.
So an app?
Even the bidding.
Oh, wow.
So when you get there,
That'll be a unique spin
right.
on a silent auction.
That's correct. We'll have a bunch of volunteers there to make sure no one gets too tangled up.
Right.
But
and everybody knows how to work their
That's
app.
right. And you'll be able to bid on the items, and if someone outbids you, you'll get a gentle text.
Oh, wow.
So you'll know that you're getting outbid, and so
That
hopefully
is special.
it'll be a definitely unique way to have an event here in Goldsboro,
Sure.
and so we're really looking forward to that. You're going to hear, in addition to hearing from our consultants, we've got Major General Steve Quast, who is a past wing commander of Seymour Johnson.
Absolutely.
And we are thrilled to have him come in to deliver sort of our keynote. And it'll be fairly short, probably 30 minutes or less. But and we talked to General Quast about that, and his guidelines were just to highlight the relationship and how important it is that we have sort of all hands on deck and making sure that it continues. So
Well, he can give the broad picture, speaking from someone who was a wing commander here.
That's
He
right.
knows Goldsboro well. He also knows the federal level very, very well. So he will be a fantastic, and he's a great speaker anyway, and
is.
just so personable. So he will be a great treat
Yeah.
to be the keynote, to sort of lead this whole initiative.
That's correct.
And he can take it to the next level
We
just by
hope
his
so.
leadership.
We hope so. So we hope to have great attendance this year. We can hold up to about 350.
And where will it be held?
It'll be held at Walnut Creek Country Club,
Okay.
and we'll have the large ballroom and the lakeside room. So we're really excited, and right now at this point we've got great support from the businesses and the sponsors. We just need people there.
Well, tell
people
us,
to come.
if somebody wants to buy a ticket, if I wanted to go out right now and purchase a ticket, how would I go about doing that?
You would go to that 501auctions.com/Friends of Seymour,
Okay.
and you can purchase a ticket there, or you can call the chamber and drop a check off at the chamber, and they will have you registered when you walk in the door. And
Nice.
the nice thing about going ahead and buying your ticket online versus doing the check is your credit card will already be on file. So when you go to the event and you check in, your credit card is already on file. So if you purchase anything at the event, as in a silent auction item, the billing and everything will be
that's
seamless.
convenient.
So
But
correct.
it's all protected.
That's right.
all
Oh,
protected.
that's why we brought in 501 Auctions. That's what they do for a living.
Professional company.
Absolutely. So we want to make sure security is of the utmost, but it's very simple to use for everyone.
It sounds extremely exciting that you all have so much planned and you have such broad, views and broad means of where you're planning to take this to the next level, where you're planning to go with this. So after the auction is over, and we have great attendance, and so many people in our community have come out and supported the Friends of Seymour, what is your next step?
We're going to decide on a final agenda for the year, which the three key points will be hiring the consulting firm in Washington, which we have done. I mean, in the last 30 days,
Right.
we've hired the consulting firm in Raleigh, which has been done in the past 30 days. We've also hired a local community person to serve as a liaison to make sure the communication is wide open
That is
between
key.
the city and the county and all the investors, and that's Mr. Jimmy Edmondson.
Right, okay.
And so
And he's very familiar with all of this.
right, those three things are in play as of about 2 weeks ago. And then outside of that, we're going to continue to fund functions both in Washington and in Raleigh and locally when we have visiting folks, or we will go visit. We love taking them some of our local barbecue, and they enjoy eating it, and then they lend us their ear, and so we
And
make
that's
sure.
what you need the private funds for.
That's correct. So
Well, Ben, it sounds like you all have really got your act together. You have all come together as city, county, military affairs committee, the Chamber of Commerce, and the list goes on and on of the support. that has-
everybody's in.
Yes, that has come together to really showcase what our community is about, how important Seymour Johnson Air Force Base is to us as a community, and how we'd like to protect it, and be basically a barrier there against any evil that may come
Right,
towards, or
right.
anything that wants to harm our military affairs committee
Right.
and our Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. So tell me one more time, when and where is the gala and how can people get tickets?
Gala is March 29th, 6 o'clock. We should have you out of there by 9:30 at the latest. And you can get tickets at the 501auctions.com/Friends of Seymour or by contacting Janet Brock at the Chamber of Commerce.
And it's going to be held at Walnut Creek Country Club.
Yes.
Sounds good. Mark your calendars. Anyone that wants to attend, I'm sure they would love to have you. And Ben, is there anything else that you want to share about Friends of Seymour?
I don't think so. It's a brand new thing. I think our biggest challenge is to educate everyone on what we're trying to accomplish and get their buy-in, and then it'll be our job to make sure that we stay transparent with how all the funds are being used, and we see some positive results.
Now, if a business, before we close, if a business wanted to be a part of this as well, be a sponsor, how would they go about getting in touch with you all? The same format?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so call the chamber or visit this website.
If you will call the chamber, I can promise you one of us will be tracking you down.
Sounds great. Well, that's what we want, is more and more community members, whether it's business or local folks that are just individuals that really see the importance of protecting Seymour Johnson Air Force Base and how important it is to our overall economic status of our community, as well as just us as a whole.
Right.
Well,
it's who we are.
It certainly is. It is who Goldsboro is.
That's
it's a big part of us, and we want to continue to protect our relationship. Well, thank you, Ben, for being with us. Thank you all for listening. And this is Friends of Seymour with Ben Seegars.
Hello, my name is Johnny Pittman, and I'm the head of the reference department at Wayne County Public Library. Today, we're going to read the children's book by Beatrice Potter, A Tale of Peter Rabbit. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sand bank underneath the root of a very big fir tree. "Now, my dear," said old Miss Rabbit one morning, "you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. Gregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He put in a pie by Mrs. Gregor. Now run along and don't get into mischief. I am going out." Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of bread and 5 currant buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries. But Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. Gregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuces and some French beans, then he ate some radishes, and then, feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. But round the end of a cucumber frame, whom should he meet but Mr. Gregor? Mr. Gregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling, "Stop, thief!" Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages, and the other shoe amongst the potatoes. After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so that he'd think he might get away if he not unfortunately run into the gooseberry net, and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears, but his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows, who flew to him in great excitement and implored him to exert himself. Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve when he intended to pop under the top of Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him, and rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not been so much water in it. Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath the flower pot. He began to turn them over carefully, looking under each. Presently Peter sneezed, "Kerchoo!" Mr. McGregor was after him in no time, and tried to put his foot under Peter, who jumped out of the window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to work. Peter sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not taken the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp from sitting in that can. After a time, he began to wander about, going lippity-lippity, not very fast, and looking all around. He found a door in a wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only shook her head at him. Peter began to cry. Then he tried to find his way straight through the garden and became more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor filled his water cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched as if it were alive. Peter thought it was best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny. He went back towards the tool shed, and suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. Scratch, 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 scratch. Peter scuttled underneath the bushes, but presently, as nothing happened, came out and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Peter got down very quickly off the wheelbarrow and started running as fast as he could go along a straight walk behind some black currant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner. Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and the shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running or looked behind him till they got home at the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down on the nice soft sand of the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in the fourth night. I am sorry to say that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made some chamomile tea, and she gave it a dose to Peter. 1 tablespoon to be taken to bed. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread, milk, and blackberries for supper. The end. This book, A Child's Treasury of Peter Beatrice Potter, does contain Peter Rabbit, and you can find this and more at the Wayne County Public Library.
Okay, we're back. That's very interesting.
Wasn't that great?
That was great. Ben Seegars there, Friends of Seymour.
That's right.
And you can go to
Chamber of Commerce.
501auctions.com/Friends of Seymour.
That's right.
Or call who?
The Wayne County Chamber of Commerce. And that number is?
919-734-2241.
That's exactly right.
All right. Renee Taylor's having a birthday today.
Is she? Who's Renee Taylor?
Renee Taylor's an actress who was one of the stars of The Nanny.
Which one is she?
She played Nanny. She played Fran Drescher's mother.
Oh, wow. She's fantastic.
Isn't she great?
She is fantastic.
And if I'm not mistaken, she was married to Joe Bologna for a while.
Huh.
Or still. Anyway, she's very funny. She's
Yeah, she absolutely is.
81 today she is, bless her heart.
Wow.
Ursula Andress, wait till you hear this.
Okay.
Ursula Andress is 78 years old today.
Tell me who Ursula is.
Never mind.
Bond girl.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, a Bond girl.
She was a Bond
Okay,
girl,
James
very tall,
Bond.
very
Okay.
pretty, very pretty.
Sorry.
Va-boom. It's okay. I'm sorry. 78 today. Clarence Frogman Henry. Now, I know you don't know who he is.
No, I really
Clarence
don't.
Frogman Henry.
I can pretend if you need me to.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Just don't. Is having a birthday. He is 77 today, and anybody who listens to radio
Yes.
knows who he is. He's a singer from back in the 50s. He had a song called Ain't Got No Home. And they call him Frogman because he sang in a froggy voice.
Ah, okay, okay.
Anyway, he's 77. Linda Bird Johnson having a birthday.
Mm-hmm, yes.
She is 70 today. Ruth Pointer of the Pointer Sisters.
Yes.
Love the Pointers. She is 68 years today. Glenn Close is 67.
Oh, wow. Fantastic
she's
actress.
a talented lady, yeah. And Walter Willis.
Tell me who Walter is.
Oh, I'm sorry. They
Yeah.
know him better as Bruce.
Which one?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. All right,
Yeah,
there
Bruce
we go.
Willis. He calls himself Bruno from time to time. Very talented musician, as a matter of fact, by the way.
I saw him in New York one time, just
Did
walking
you?
down the street. Sure did. It was pouring down rain.
Really?
And my daughter and I and a couple other folks were walking down the road with our umbrellas. And all of a sudden, he and his girlfriend walked right by us. And I turned and said, "Was that Bruce Willis?" My daughter said, "Sure was." And it didn't phase her at all. Kept right on walking.
Oh, she runs among the famous, rich and famous anyway.
But it was pretty cool.
It was Bruce Willis.
Just
yeah.
Bruce.
Hey, Brucey, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anyway, he's 59 years today.
59. Happy
59.
birthday.
That's right. All right.
How about that?
How about that?
Just reminding you, this Friday at the Goldsboro Paramount is John Berry will be performing as a part of the Wayne Community Concerts. The show will begin at 7 o'clock. If you want to find out more about it, go to GoldsboroParamount.com. This Friday night, John Berry will be here in Goldsboro.
The Division of Services for the Deaf
Yes.
and Hard of Hearing and the Wayne County Services on Aging are all getting together and teaming up to begin a new service for individuals who are struggling with hearing aids.
Oh, yes.
Now, if you're an experienced hearing aid user and you'd like to help others who are having difficulty, be at the Senior Center Tuesday, April 8th, 2 p.m. to learn about CHAMP. Now, CHAMP is an anagram for Communication and Hearing Assistance Mentoring Program. If you want more information, you can call. There's a couple of places you can call, but call Erin McAuliffe at the Senior Center. She's at 919-705-1785. 705-1785.
There you go.
There you go.
Don't forget, today is a medicine drop-off. If you have old and expired medications, instead of pouring it down your drain or throwing it in the trash can, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to drop off your medicine in a safe environment at Kirkwood Retirement Community today from 1 until 3 p.m. and then on the 21st at Walgreens on Ash Street from 1 until 4 p.m.
There you go. That is old and retired, or rather expired medicines.
There you go.
Kind of like me. I'm old, but I'm not expired.
No,
How's
you're
that?
not.
Okay,
No,
thank you very
absolutely
much.
not.
All right, we're going to do this again bright and early tomorrow. We'll be back here Thursday morning at 7 a.m.
You'll actually be back Monday.
We'll actually be back on Monday. That's right.
We'll be back Monday at 7.
We're out of town for a few days.
We are.
We're going out of
going
town. We're going to a conference.
We are?
Yes.
Oh, boy, we're going to a conference. We'll be back in here Monday at 7 a.m. and we'll let you know where we were and what we did.
There you go.
I haven't got a clue right now. But anyway, we'll be back in here Monday morning at 7 o'clock and then again at noon and then again at 5:30 p.m. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. Join us online, too. We're on Facebook and on our YouTube page. Go to waynegov.com and click on the icon that leads to YouTube and watch all our programs. So until Monday, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.